Hi, in this video I'll be comparing these two models. So we've got the Dyson Micro 1.5 kilogram cordless vacuum and we've got the Dyson V7 Absolute. And what I want to do today is to go through some of the differences that the two offer, and also want to compare the suction on them as well to see what the difference is. The main reason for this video is at this time of recording they're actually the same price. So in the UK they're around the £300 mark, and what I want to do is to see why somebody would go for something like this model that is a lot smaller compared to this model, which is a very popular one on the market. Just before I start, I'd normally say please subscribe to my YouTube channel, just give us a quick thumbs up. What I do is I normally talk about cordless vacuums as my speciality. I do talk about household appliances, and there's normally a bit of tech in there as well. So just give us a quick subscribe, then we'll make a start. So the first thing to look at, and I suppose for a lot of people it's one of the main considerations when choosing a cordless vacuum, is the runtime of it. So on the Micro 1.5 we've got 20-minute runtime, and on the V7 that's up to 30 minutes. Now of course on both models you have got the high and the low option. You have got the max option on here, and that will reduce it by quite a lot. And also the way that you turn the vacuum on is completely different. So on the Micro 1.5 kilogram you've got the on and off switch on the top here, and then you've got the max option just next to it. So that's quite a new feature for Dyson. What they've done is they're normally stuck with this kind of trigger based system. So I'll just show you on here. You'll see there is a bit of dirt in here, but with this, I suppose with the trigger based system, the main advantage I'd normally say, and I suppose what Dyson say, is when you vacuum in, then clearly you've got your finger on the trigger. When you're not vacuuming, so if you just want to move to say another room, sometimes if you just got on and off switch, put my teeth back in, if you've got an on and off switch on the top, then chances are you just leave it on while you're moving the vacuum. But if you've got your finger on the trigger, then chances are you just take it off for 4 or 5 seconds. And all of those small amounts of time that you take your finger off the trigger can make a huge difference to the runtime. So I suppose personally I'm a fan of the trigger based system, but quite a few other manufacturers have gone away from it. They've just physically got an on and off switch, which is okay. And I suppose for some customers, say if you're elderly or if you suffer with things like arthritis, then having to keep your finger on the trigger can be a bit of a pain. And that's why with this one, with the Micro 1.5, then having the button on the top can be quite a good idea. So the next thing is bin capacity, and how easy are they to empty? Well, bin capacity on the Micro 1.5 kilogram is 0.2 litres, and on the V7 is 0.54 litres. So you've got more than twice the capacity on the V7, and basically what that means is that you're not having to empty the bin so often. So if you have got quite a large place, then if you do go for the Micro 1.5, then you'll find that you're emptying the bin quite often. As far as how easy are they to empty, to be fair, both of them are easy. On this one you just got a handle underneath, and you just push that down, and then the flap will open at the end, and then you just push it to start again. On this model, as you can see, I've got a bit of dirt in here anyway, but I'll show you how easy it is. You just got a handle on this one, so you just pull this, and that's made a complete mess of my floor, but I'm not worried about that, I'll sort it out in a minute. And then to sort that out, so all you do is you just tap the top down, push the bottom up, and then you're ready to go. So both of them are nice easy designs. I wouldn't say that one is any better than the other, but the bin capacity, I suppose for a lot of people, could be quite a thing to think about. When it comes to cleaning and maintaining the vacuums, I'll just show you the comparison between the two. So on the Micro 1.5, to actually clean the filter, so you've just got one filter on this, you just take that off, give it a quick rinse under the tap, leave that to dry fully, and then pop the back on the vacuum. That just twists on there. As far as removing the bin itself, I know I did show you how to empty it, but on this one you have got the option to take the bin off. On this model, and I suppose both of them, once you've got the bin off, then just give it a quick wipe over with a say a paintbrush, and something like a damp microfiber cloth, that can really help, and just on the inside of the bin as well. And then when it comes to putting it back together, you just locate that at the bottom, that pushes on, and then you're ready to go. As far as on the V7, you've actually got two filters on this. So you've still got the filter on the back. It is a slightly different design to the 1.5, but it's the same principle where you do give it a wash, and then once it's fully dry, normally after about 24 hours, then that just slots back on the back. On this model, you've also got that, that's quite a standard type of Dyson filter. If you do need any of these filters, then I'll just provide some links below to show you where to get them at good prices. But that just drops in, and as I did mention earlier, make sure all of these are completely and utterly dry before you put them back in the vacuum. I do know of quite a few people that they wash the filter, leave it for an hour or so, think it's dry, and then put it back in, and then they damage the vacuum, which won't be covered under the warranty. As far as taking the bin off on the V7, then again it is easy. All you do is you just pull that up, and just on the inside here you'll see you've got a red button, so just pull that. So you push the button, pull the bin, and then the whole canister comes off. Once you've done that, you can take this bin off if you want. So if you wanted to clean it properly, then again just press the button and the whole canister comes off. And I suppose similar to the 1.5, as I mentioned, just get a damp microfiber cloth in there, get a paintbrush in there as well to get the worst off, and then when it comes to putting it back together, just tap that down, and then you're ready to go. Now for some people, the weight of the vacuum is going to be one of the main things to consider when buying it. So I'll just show you the weight of the handheld unit. So there's no tools, there's no accessories attached to it, this is just the handheld unit itself. So on the Micro 1.5, I'm not sure if you can see that, see there's a bit of reflection there, but that's 934 grams, or in pounds and ounces, so just over 2 pounds. And then on the V7, so with this one, this is 1440 grams, so a huge difference, or just over 3 pounds. So yeah, a huge difference comparing the two, so 935 up to 1440. So if you're after a lightweight vacuum, then the Micro 1.5 could be the one to go for. And I just showed you the comparison of the weight on the handheld units themselves, but the figures that Dyson will quote themselves will be 2.32 kilograms and clearly 1.5 kilograms, but that will include the pole and the tool at the end as well. So again, a big difference in the weight between the two. Now what I want to do is to compare the tools and accessories that they come with. So the first tool that both of them come with is this one. This is the mini turbo brush. Now that's the one from the 1.5 and that's the one from the V7. Now you will see that although the tools themselves are basically the same size, don't be under the impression that they use the same button system or quick release system, as Dyson call it, between the two models. Hopefully you'll see at the end here, I'll just show you that. So that's on the 1.5 and that's the V7. So you should be able to see at the end here that the width of this is a lot smaller, and on the pole itself, so the main wand is smaller as well. I'll just show you that in a moment. But what this means, and the reason I point this out, because I have had a couple of people ask me, well, can I just use the tools from one of my other vacuums to place on the 1.5? And well, no is the answer. And the main reason for that, because it's a much smaller fitting, then you won't be able to swap the tools around. And Dyson have been very good, to be fair, between the V7, V8, V10, V11, V15 and the new outsize Absolute. So between all of those models, they've kept the same tool system, the quick release system. So that basically means if you've got tools from another vacuum, then you can swap them over to one of the other models. But yeah, they have decided to change it for this one, which I don't blame them, because everything about it is smaller. Although if you have got one of the other Dysons, then it could be a little bit annoying. I know we found that when they changed from the V6 to the V7, because they changed the way all the tools were designed, and because of this quick release system, then it did get a bit annoying for a time. But hey ho. So that's the first tool that they both come with, the mini motorised head, and that tool is ideal for things like the stairs, or if you want to go and vacuum your car or sofa. then both of these have quite stiff bristles. So the next tool that the 1.5 will come with is this. So this is a good tool because it's actually 2-in-1, and I suppose what they've tried to do is they've tried to make, because everything is lightweight on this one, then having everything in one tool is a really good idea. So first of all, you've got the long crevice tool, and then all you do is you push that up, and then you've got a soft dusting brush at the top here, and then when you want to push it back down, press the button, and then that goes back to the bottom. So that's on the 1.5. So on the V7, they've actually put them into 2 separate tools. So essentially it's the same thing. So you've still got the crevice tool, and then you've got the soft dusting brush. The bristles on this are basically the same as on the other one. So you've got it in 2 separate tools. On the V7, you have got this as an additional tool. This is called the combination tool, and that's because you combine 2 different tools. So first of all, you've got the upholstery tool, and then again it sort of doubles up into a soft dusting brush as well. So that one comes with the V7. Also, you do have this model. So this is called a reach under tool, and again this is on the V7, not on the 1.5. And the idea of this is that when you if you want to vacuum, say under a bed or under a sofa, then when you attach the tool, just show you on here. So if you've got the vacuum itself, I'll just show you this. So normally you do this when you've actually got the main wand on it. So you just press this button. So there's a little yellow button at the end here. Press that, and the idea is that you can actually go reach under. Dyson used to do something called an up top tool to get on top of cupboards. I think we found as a retailer that not many people were that fussed about it, but this one, the reach under tool, is a really good idea, and it's something that the people are quite interested in. So again, that comes with the V7, but not on the 1.5. So as far as the wands on both of them, if anything, the length on the 1.5 is slightly longer than on the V7. Hopefully you can see that. So I'm quite surprised at that, that the 1.5 is slightly longer, because everything about it so far has been smaller. But as you can see, the width on the V7 is slightly wider as well, and that's really why at the end, as I was just talking about the different tools, that the fixings on the end are completely different. And then the next comparison, and I suppose one of the main noticeable ones, are the floor heads that they come with. So this is the floor head on the 1.5 kilogram, and this is the floor head on the V7 Absolute. And hopefully you can see that there is a huge difference. So you're looking at around 20 to 25 centimeters. So when I compare the two, then you can see there's quite a big difference. That can have an effect on how long it takes to vacuum. So clearly, if you've got a head with a much smaller surface area, then it's going to take you longer to vacuum. If you combine that with the reduced runtime on the 1.5, then it might be the V7 that you decide to go for that reason alone. But the weight of these, so I have just weighed them, and you're looking at 370 grams on this one compared to 740. So just in the head alone, that is twice as heavy as this model. And then the V7 Absolute does come with this as well. This is the direct drive head. I suppose the fluffy head is ideal for things like hard floors, things like tile, laminate, wood. There's a whole range of different types of floor that you can use the vacuum on. That's where the 1.5 comes into its own. And with the fluffy head as well, that's ideal for larger particles, things like breakfast cereal. You might have seen Dyson adverts where it's sucking up bits of cereal. That's where it's very good. This also comes with the V7 Absolute. This is the direct drive head, and this is ideal for carpets. So if you have got quite a lot of carpets within your house or apartment, then personally I think this is really the one to look at. Also to mention that both models do come with wall brackets. You can wall mount them if you want to, or if you didn't want to wall mount them, then you can just plug them in via another charger. I know some people don't want to put them on the wall, so it just gives the option. You've still got the flexibility to say just sit it on a table and plug the charger in. As far as the charging time of both of them, you're normally looking around 3 to 4 hours, so there's not really a comparison in the difference between those two. So what I wanted to do now was just to do a quick suction comparison between the two. Now the floor we've got here, it is a very short pile carpet, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on. What I will do is I have used the fluffy head on the V7 just so it's a fair comparison between the two models. It would be unfair to use the direct drive head because I do think the performance of it would be better on this type of surface. As far as the suction goes, Dyson claimed that you've got 50 air watts on the 1.5 kilogram and 100 air watts on the V7, so in theory the suction should be better, but we'll give it a go. What I will also do is I will use them both on maximum suction, so hopefully the performance will be good, but let's give it a go. So just a note, so I should have told you beforehand, that was some sawdust that I had on the floor. You will see that there is a little bit left here. I'm not sure if you can see that very clearly. So in an ideal world, what I do is I would run over that again. So the next comparison I'll do are some porridge oats on the floor. Again, I'll have them both on maximum suction, so let's see how they get on. So not a lot to compare between them really. I suppose if anything, because of the width of the V7 Absolute, I suppose you'd be able to cover a larger surface area, but to be fair, both of them I was really impressed with. So just as a final comparison, what I'll do is I've just put some porridge oats. In our showroom we've got some hobs, so I've just put some porridge oats and we'll be using the crevice tool on both of them. And what I want to do is I want to use them on the minimum suction, just as a comparison. So let's see how they get on. So just as a roundup on these two models, I suppose for a lot of people they're thinking, well, why would you go for the 1.5 kilogram? Because the bin capacity on the V7 is more than twice as big. The suction, because you've got 100 air watts compared to 50 air watts, so the suction on the V7 is better as well. Also, as far as things like the runtime, it's better. You've got 30-minute runtime as opposed to 20 minutes. For a lot of people you're thinking, well, it's almost a no-brainer because it comes with extra tools as well. Clearly at this time of recording, both models in the UK are around £300, so there's no price difference. But for some other people, they're thinking, well, weight is the key factor, not the price or not so much the runtime. It's going to be the weight of the vacuum. And clearly at 1.5 kilogram for the whole of it, then that could be the main reason that you're going for this kind of vacuum. Also, I personally think, I know I mentioned about the trigger-based system, and I do like that, and I still stand by that. But I suppose the option of having the button on the top to start it is a very good idea. So if you do suffer with your hands, then that could be the one to go for. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick video on the comparison of the Micro 1.5 kilogram vacuum cleaner and the Dyson V7 Absolute. Please give us a thumbs up on our YouTube channel and leave any comments below. I'd always ask for comments, whether it's good or bad, about the video, what you thought about it. I'm sure there might have been other things that I could have compared between them, but I just want to give you a quick overview of a comparison between the two. Also, if you have got any questions on either of them, then just pop it in the comments below. Thanks for watching.